In the spirit of Murrow, Jennings, Cronkite, here's another great moment in local news.
Hand sanitizer never used, and you paid for it. Tuesday at 7 a.m.
That's a great moment in local news. Now, back to the Adam Carolla Show.
We're going to have to figure out some way to repurpose hand sanitizer, like to power machinery or factories or something, because there's an industrial squirt bottle of fucking hand sanitizer everywhere now, and people are sort of over it, but it's really just, it's gelatinized alcohol. Like maybe we should be making weapons out of it or Molotov cocktails or give it to the military. We should be able to power factories and cars off it. It's just... There's been 10 million packets of hand sanitizer, the mini one, the keychain size one, the mega one, the medium one. They're everywhere. And I think people are sort of over it now. But now we have 200 million metric tons of hand sanitizer, which, by the way, doesn't do anything because you couldn't spread COVID by touch. Because we're all fucking superstitious, gypsy, native, crazy people. We're like, it's not spread by touch. Yeah, I know, but wipe that down anyway. Like, okay, crazy gypsy person. Fine. I don't use this shit. I never used it. It makes you weak. It fucks you up. It fucks up your system. It fucks up your immune system. The data's already coming in. It will continue to come in. You'll have many more hay fever and allergies and allergic and bad stomach. It's bad for you. But fine. Everyone's been calling me an asshole for 20 years for saying I don't use it. But we're going to need to do something with it. We need to harness it.
We used to go on planes and they would give you the hand sanitizer. Would you just take it and not use it, or did you let them know? No, I don't want it.
I realized quickly, because I was not a mask wearer. I was not a proper mask wearer. Like the mask to me, I'm a deep mouth breather. Could never figure it out. Would fog up my glasses. It was sort of like when you put a party hat on your dog and the dog like kind of walks sideways, like it doesn't necessarily claw it off. It just walks weird and it's like it kind of does something weird. That's what the mask was for me. Like it bothered the fuck out of me. It bothered the fuck out of me that it was just theater for fucking retarded, scared pussies, and that I got sucked in and indoctrinated into a system that did nothing. So I would have a lot of difficulty with the mask. It was always down. It was never, there were issues. But I realized that if I dismissed and waved off in my super condescending way the stupid hand sanitizer, which did nothing as well, that they would hand you every 10 feet of the airport, like I'd go like, yeah, okay, save it for the kids or the special needs adults in the back who fucking don't know anything. That then got me on the list of people who needed to be watched.
It'd flag you.
It'd flag me in their head like, oh, we got troublemaker here. I'm going to watch him with the mask. So I would, at a certain point, want to get off that list. I'd be like, oh, thank you. Maybe I can have another one. And I would throw them on the floor. I would never use them, but I didn't want to get on their list of troublemakers.
See, maybe I'm different. I only really enjoy cleaning up someone else's funk on a plane. Not enjoy it. I just want to know that there's not as many remnants of a human being where I'm about to sit.
It's an instinct. I get it.
And a lot of stuff's on those planes. They tell you that. Right?
Oh yeah, there's a lot. I mean, Nicole Byer said that she found excrement in a blanket. She told that story on Conan O'Brien. She took out one of those blankets and there was poop in it. Oh. I don't know that
hand sanitizer's
not going to help that. So we need pooper scoopers and hand sanitizers.
Yeah, I made my peace with that stuff a million years ago.
It's probably smart.
I grew up in filth, so I just got used to filth.
That's a great opening line for your memoir.
Yes, I grew up in filth.
Yeah.
I got used to it. I never got weird about. I peed in the sink oftentimes. I never wiped anything down. I just was never. I worked construction. Construction's a messy, dirty, shitty job. You shit in a porta potty all day. There's just gunk on you all the time. I just got over it early.
We just got a dog, and I finally had to. My daughter just begged me for a dog, and I'll tell you, that's like living in in poop land,
Yes.
So it's interesting. The house is so perfect and clean, and then now it's like, okay, who cares? Bones
Puppy
everywhere.
especially, so it's a fucking shit show. Yes.
That's what it is. Yeah.
All right, Max, what are we talking about here?
Well, today, as we record this, is Martin Luther King Jr.
that's
Day.
right.
Yeah, this is actually a national holiday. Well, over the weekend,
we've come a long way, but we've got a long way to go.
Yes.
Now, I would like to be put in formaldehyde and then reanimated 5,000 years from now so I could hear douchebag make the speech in 7,029. We've come a long way, but there's a long way to go. That's the message I get every year.
well, hopefully this will help. In Boston, they unveiled a new monument that I don't know if you've seen this.
Always helps. The two things that help races the most is monuments and naming streets after them.
Yeah.
That fixes problems. Family education, blah, blah, blah. But switching the name of a street and building a monument.
Yeah.
I know.
So we're on the right path.
That's super effective.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this was unveiled on Friday on Boston Common. 20 feet tall, 40 feet wide. It's called The Embrace. And it was inspired by a photograph of King and Coretta Scott King, which captured them hugging after he won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. So you can see it's just the arms.
Yeah.
It's just floating arms that are embracing each other. The angle, it looks all right, but obviously it is a source of plenty of mockery online because it looks weird from other angles. If you guys can scroll through the other angles too, but it's just like, it was unveiled. It just looks unusual. Like that looks like a knee. People say like from this angle, it looks phallic.
Yeah.
Oh,
You'd
whoa!
say?
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the big monument that they released. But so the designer is Hank Willis Thomas. And some of his work, at least one other piece of his work, Adam. And it's the Afro Pick statue
Yeah.
that we've talked about
Weird,
on this show.
sort of offensive.
Yeah.
Where they
Or the monument, the Afro Pick monument.
pulled some Civil War general down and put a giant-sized pick up there. Problem solved once again.
Do we know how much it cost to create the hugging one? Like, is there any?
Do you know how many after-school programs we could have started with that money? But bizarre, inane statues save so many lives and help so many communities of color. So it's are you willing to risk it? Some after-school basketball program for inner-city kids versus a big brown cock swinging in the wind and a hand gently caressing it. You willing to risk that? Because that's going to set the culture back.
Yeah.
You need those symbols.
I'm seeing
Super important.
I'm seeing a report that this monument cost about $10 million.
Oh, I mean, come on. What? It looks like someone's stretching before a Cirque du Soleil show.
Yes,
I
that's
mean,
what
give
I
me
saw.
a fucking break. It's just
Powerful.
Can I say this? The conceptual. All right, let's put it to you this way. Let's give a thought experiment. Jessimae, they are going to build a monument to you and your mirth. Where you hail from?
Syracuse, New York.
In Syracuse, right outside the Orangeman College there. There's a graveyard next to that place. I've walked through it with Dr. Drew. All right, they're going to build a monument to you. Wouldn't you, let's just say you're gone, it's been 70 years, wouldn't you like it to look like you? Like, so that people went by and went, oh, that's Jessimae's. Yeah, she's funny. Like, we could recognize you. You know what I mean? This is just hands bent in a pretzel. You'd have to come up and kind of look at the plaque sort of thing. I'm just saying, if you are doing a monument to me, I want me standing on a Zamboni or a horse that's pulled back or riding a jet ski or something like
A Segway.
a Segway. Like I want me in action. You know what I mean? Or me on stage with a microphone and slaying the audience. You know, like when they do Michael Jordan statues, he's dunking a basketball. It's not some bizarre
Or Rocky.
Rocky. It's them like, shouldn't he be in front of a mic or holding a Bible
at a
or
podium
something? A podium, like
marching.
Why does everything need to be abstract? Why do I have to guess everything?
I think to me, what this rings is it's very egregious, and it's also self-congratulatory.
It becomes more about the
it's
sculptor,
about the artist,
right?
yes. Because then you have to go, what is it? Well,
let me explain.
Let me tell you what my idea was. But
Yeah.
honestly, as you were speaking, like if someone did a monument dedicated to me, I would just want like a couple meatballs. To be honest, I just love meatballs and maybe a loaf of bread.
But no
Strategically
likeness?
placed. No, I don't need it.
Oh, I'll put them in the right place.
I know.
we know.
Everybody
That-
knows.
But-
That'd be more fun, I think.
But people passing by won't know
They will
about
have
your
no
comedic
no,
genius.
They'll have no idea. It's just this is insane. I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Well, you have to look at different angles, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
360
Right.
experience.
By the way, when people are explaining what art means because you can't tell, we're done. We're done already. Could be a painting, could be a sculpture. This represents the struggle. I don't know what the fuck it is. If you're explaining to me what it is, it's over.
It's not a good campaign for funding art in school. I'll tell you
No.
that much.
No.
But we should.
Do,
To be clear, we should be funding art and
do
music.
Coretta
but-
Scott
camps.
King and Martin Luther King and just do them.
Yeah.
And put them up there.
Yeah.
Why not?
Their own statue.
That's the monument. That's how it works.
Or make their full bodies hugging.
That's right.
There you go.
Recognizable.
Yeah, please. All right, well, we never talked about this, and this is a story that's been going around since last week.
Hold on. How long before somebody goes Jussie Smollett on this thing?
Oh.
Somebody's gonna like spray paint a noose or a swastika or something. It'll probably be bullshit, but everyone will go nuts, right?
It's all it takes.
It'll probably be the artist.
Somebody, yes, somebody's gonna do something, and then we're gonna go batshit crazy.
We'll be rioting.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and then it'll turn out that it wasn't Ted Nugent. Sorry,
Right. And it'll
Ringo
make people
Starr.
want to go see it.
that's right.
Oh, yeah. It's a part of history
Right.
after that. So in Tennessee, a small Tennessee police station, it's made national news because it's been rocked by allegations of wild sexual misconduct. There's an officer, a female officer there, who has since been fired, but she has had steamy romps with 6 male officers, including illicit on-duty acts. And according to reports, Officer Megan Hall and her law officers engage in wild sexcapades, dirty pictures. There's a Girls Gone Wild hot tub party, oral sex with 2 officers at the station while on duty. And all these officers are like, yeah, it happened. She's married. She says she's in an open marriage. But
It is now.
Yeah, by default.
you got to say that, right?
Yeah.
By default.
This doesn't happen at Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp even. You know, it happens at the police precinct.
Right, yeah, this is the most rock and roll thing
This
here.
is the new campaign, Defuck the Police.
Yeah, so yeah, so these cops are like, yeah, we had sex with her on numerous occasions. They accused her of she'd brag about it along at work, and so her husband. So this has been all over the news. She's become a meme, right? Like she's getting railroaded by all of her coworkers. Her husband, there he is. He's like, I didn't know we had an open marriage.
Oh, yeah,
His
see?
went out, and 2, but I'm going to stay with her.
Oh,
and we're going to see
okay.
this thing through.
Well, now I figured out what we can do with that Purell. We should just dip her in it. My whole thing is if you can hold your breath for 10 minutes under in this 55-gallon drum of Purell,
Yeah.
then if you emerge, we shall continue this relationship. If you cannot hold your breath in this vat of Purell, and I'm going to heat it up too.
Yeah, you need the heat.
I need boiling Purell because I got to wipe this out of you.
It should be a float tank filled with Purell
Yes.
so she could think about why
Go in
she
there,
wanted to do this to herself.
microdose, and get in this this deprivation tank of Purell and just float. It's probably you'd be more buoyant than salt water,
Oh, for sure.
and just float in there and degerm yourself. And I'll put a little Enya in you. On you, and you just think about what you've done to this relationship.
And what you've done to the police department.
That's right.
Let's start there.
Yeah, so four cops were fired, 2 were suspended.
The guy, so the blowjob guys got to keep their job.
I think
the
they got
sex
fired.
guys got fired.
Or, I don't know the stipulation of why some were suspended and why were fired, but maybe it depends what base you
Were
hit.
they suspended from work or from the sex swing in the back office?
It could be both. Yeah, I'm sure.
The husband
it's
looks
more
like
same.
the author of the USA article about
Yeah.
whether
Sure
we're allowed
does.
to say mahalo.
Throw some Harry Potter glasses on him.
That's right. Oh boy. Well, who really suffers now?
The parents of those 2 people.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, the problem is the problem with cops when they go rogue, and I've said this with everybody, we only have pictures of them when they get the citation from the mayor. They're smiling and they're holding a plaque, but the guy's accused of going on a murderous rampage or killing teenage prostitutes or going balls deep in a coworker. But he's got Man of the Year on a plaque with the mayor with his arm around him and he's all smiles. We need a in case you fuck up picture too. Like, I'm not saying you're going rogue, but there are a lot of bad cops and shit can happen. And if you shoot some black teen in the back and then plant a gun or something, I don't want the all smiles with the accommodation shot. I need I made a mistake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let's just get the I made a mistake shot.
First day, just get him
same
out of
as
the way.
Plaque Day.
Yeah, plaque day, just go, okay, give me the plaque. All right, now look like you've made a mistake. All right, here we go. Yeah, that's the look. I go, fuck. And then when the shit goes down, if the shit goes down, we will use the I made a mistake picture, not the holding the key to the city picture.
That's a solid point.
You need it. It's important.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm put on file. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that should be the new protocol moving forward. Did anybody here watch the Critics' Choice Awards over the weekend? Trick question. No, you didn't.
No.
Nobody
Didn't
watched
know
it. It was on the CW. It was during, wild card playoff weekend and all that too.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think really that many people watch it. But it did have a lot of big celebrities there. Chelsea Handler hosted it, and it looked like a fun award show. Brendan Fraser he actually showed up to this one, and he's making his comeback tour. He won Best Actor, and here let's watch his speech because everybody's been tweeting this. It's a very motivational speech, and they're loving it. They love Brendan Fraser. He's back.
I was in the wilderness, and I probably should have left a trail of breadcrumbs. But you found me, and like all the best directors, you merely just showed me where to go to get to where I needed to be.
Well, he could write for Kamala Harris.
If you,
He's being played off.
like a guy like Charlie, who I played in this movie, in any way struggle with obesity, or you just feel like you're in a dark sea, I want you to know that if you too can have the strength to just get to your feet and go to the light, good things will happen.
Yeah, people are not
So
standing.
the music
Good night.
is supposed to be playing him off, but it sounds...
It's enhancing his.
Yeah, I don't
enhancing
think he
his
realized
speech.
they were playing him off. He's like, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is becoming a moment.
I don't know, Dawson, now you have to find some Ranchera music because we can't have the tinklings of the ivories or the inspirational
Yeah.
thing, because if the music sounds inspirational and they're like, my father was my best friend and he passed 10 years ago, but he told me at his bedside, he held my hand and he said, son, and they're playing the...
Back in black.
You're playing inspirational music, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Let's see how it would... I don't know. We'll figure it out. But if you put Ranchera music over this, first off, no one would be able to take it. It's time to wrap up. Those people cannot. The human ear cannot listen to that for more than 30 seconds before you have an aneurysm. So people in the audience would be begging him to wrap it up to make it stop. Number one, and then number two, it can inspire nothing and be mistaken for nothing except for drinking stories.
Yeah.
That's all. Like, I ate the worm. Thank you. Good night. Like, that's all. His music looked like somebody scored it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked like he told them to play it at a specific part in his
Right.
Yeah, he
in
cued
his
it.
speech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It fueled him.
Continue to filibuster. My computer crashed, but I get where you're going, and we got this. Hold
Yeah.
on.
Right, like
we'll
at
see
the
if we can
Golden
figure
Globes,
it
they did the soft jazz, and nobody cared at all. Like the jazz piano.
It's what you would pump into a commercial if you were doing a commercial and of showing a man and a woman on the first date, and it was like, it's only lunch. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't do it dry. You'd have the playing of the piano. And you don't do anything dry. Like you don't notice it, but TV commercials for prescription drugs and everything's got something going on. Every TV show, every movie. So when it shows up, your mind doesn't do anything with it other than go, oh, it's part of the
I'm doing a
scene
great job.
that
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
watching right here.
Yeah, trying to drive your emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, getting back to an earlier theme, when did everyone get so fucked up? Like, once everyone's such a mess. The guy was Tarzan. Like, to give it a break, you know? Like, I was in a dark space and somebody believed in me. Like, I know you weren't. You're a good-looking dude. You've had a decent career. I'm sure you got laid.
And you got enough money.
You got enough
Yeah.
money.
I mean, just gave up.
I haven't seen The Whale, but I wonder if all of this comeback and all the stuff that's happening off screen is helping him win these awards. Too.
I'll tell you my wish, and I do it every time. I think it happened. Now, I'll try to figure it out because we've discussed this before. Queen Latifah got great notices for Cabaret or Paris Nights or whatever. Queen Latifah did a music. It got great notices for a musical. But in the can was the movie Taxi with Jimmy Fallon, which was a total unmitigated piece of comedy shit that made no sense at all. And then there was Monique, who got great notices for, babe, what the fuck with the Precious. She had Precious. But she also had like Soul Plane 3 or something like ready to come out before. I hope he has Guitarzan 2 like in the can, and the next movie that gets released after he gets the Oscars, the shitty B movie, bad farcical junk that we'd known to love him for. That's what I'm hoping for.
And then he goes back home and needs to leave breadcrumbs again.
That's right.
Actually, he will leave breadcrumbs this time.
Pretty carby for a fat guy.
Yeah, and I said breadcrumbs.
But you said breadcrumbs.
That's a different.
Where's your mind at?
That's a different.
That's a different
situation.
food. Yeah.
So sorry.
Well, while they're pulling that up, also Chelsea Handler, I have some of her monologue jokes. We watched some of Gerard's monologue from the Golden Globes, and he did a much different style, and we were like, oh, just go back to the roasty jokes. You're just making fun of everybody there. So here's some of Chelsea's jokes. We'll watch one of those. Or not, but I'll tell you. So she
We're firing up the computer.
Oh, it's okay. But her goal, and she told this to the Hollywood Reporters, it's not going to be taking the piss out of people and embarrassing them. That's what stand-up's for. That's what your personal Instagram is for, if you're into that. It's not about making anyone feel uncomfortable, especially for me, since everybody's expecting me to make people feel uncomfortable. So, yeah, she wasn't really necessarily like Ricky Gervais mean, but she was... But yeah, she definitely got in some shots. She talked about like the Don't Worry Darling press tour and things, and made a crack at James Corden and things like that. So
She said it wasn't meant to make people uncomfortable.
No.
I call bullshit.
I
call bullshit. What else? That's exactly what comedy is, or I think at least it should be. And I'm not acting like I know anything. I feel like I'm young in my own career and haven't accomplished nearly as much as you have, but I feel like it should be uncomfortable.
She pointed at me.
I did.
Just so people know, listening at home.
Should be uncomfortable.
We'll get those clips in a
Little
little
bit.
bit too. They're transferring over.
I agree.
All right. Well, we'll see if we can find Ranchera.
But you're right. Ranchera music.
He wants the
I want it.
He's not
Oh,
giving it up.
he's
You want to
right,
play
though. It
people?
would
You want to
hit.
get people to leave the room? Fire up. You want to get Whitey to flee? You want Whitey to wrap it up? Ranchera music.
Legend has it he's still giving the speech.
That's
Still
right.
there.
Because it was so perfect. Oh, we'll see if we can do it. The inspirational music just added to the milieu of the whole thing. All right, let's see.
I was in the wilderness, and I probably should have left a trail of breadcrumbs. So,
Yeah.
but you found me, and like all the best directors, You merely just showed me where to go to
Get
get
the
to
fuck
where I
off
needed to
stage,
be.
whatever that piece of shit the cow was.
Go back in the woods.
Hey, can someone give me a Tecate?
Eat a sandwich.
If you, like a guy like Charlie, who I played in this movie, in any way you struggle with obesity,
Yeah, I don't like this anymore. I don't like this
you just
speech
feel like
anymore.
you're in a dark sea.
Yeah, all
I want you to
right.
know.
All you need was a little more
I don't wanna
head
see- I don't
on
wanna
it,
see
but
that
that
movie.
was funny.
I want to see that movie.
You're right.
Get this guy off the stage. He's ruining my evening.
Bring us Tarzan. Tarzan or nothing.
The default should just be Ranchera music. That's it.
Or shut the mic, like they used
Or
to
just shut it.
in the old days.
Yeah, they just shut it off. All right, let's wrap it up next, Ben.
All right. Check out the Water Code podcast, please.
All right. I know everyone always thinks I'm kidding about everything, but first off, if you did Ranchera music, the audience would look forward to it. It'd be funny.
It would be hilarious.
It would be hilarious. It'd kind of become like Night at the Apollo with the Sandman.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yes.
A drinking game at home.
Yeah, like the guy's fucking up the song and he comes out there with the broom, you know. You'd kind of hope
Anticipate
some
it.
blowhardy celebrity went long.
You never know when
Right?
it's going to come.
Yeah.
They mess
The
with it
Gong
a little
Show.
bit.
That's right.
The Gong
Exactly.
Show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there'd be prop bets like Jodie Foster's 3-1 for Ranchera music. You know, if she wins. Right? You'd have to pick blowhardy celebrities. Susan Sarandon may be an odds-on favorite. Like she's even money for the Ranchera music if she wins the thing. If she wins the statue for the Lesbian Nun movie, there's Vegas says it's a coin toss whether we get the Ranchera music or not.
This will certainly be a fun pitch for you to pitch Jimmy for the Oscars then.
Oh, write that down.
Yeah, that's good.
From your mouth to God's ears. All right, you can go to AdamCarolla.com for all the live shows. We'll see you this weekend in Dallas with John Popper doing our own kind of rock and roll fantasy camp. Speaking of that, Rock Camp, an oral history, 25 years of rock and roll fantasy. David Fishof. And check out the movie Rock Camp as well. Netflix.
Amazon.
Oh, Amazon
Prime.
I am sorry. Jessimae Peluso. Sharp Tongue's the name of the pod. There's live dates coming up. Omaha Funny Bone, February 3rd and the 4th. Comedy Store in La Jolla, California, Valentines Day. So get your honey bunny and head out there. And you can go to Jessimae.com for all the live shows and where she's going to be. And until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Jessimae Peluso, David Fishof, Max Pata. Adam Carolla saying, mahalo.